What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video and welcome back to the channel. And today I have something special lined up for all the cybersecurity enthusiasts as well as Linux lovers out there. We're diving into Exodia OS, which is a highly customized Arch-based Linux distro designed to meet the needs of cybersecurity experts while providing an aesthetically pleasing interface for daily usage. So let's jump right into it. Now, before we start exploring Exodia OS, let's talk about what makes it stand out in the Linux world. This distro is proudly developed by a team based out of Egypt, and it brings together the power of Arch Linux, which I definitely enjoy, with a host of pre-installed cybersecurity tools. Now, Exodia caters to different use cases with its various editions. It has a home edition, which is perfect for daily tasks, privacy, and software development. Also, if you're rocking a Cyb3rTh laptop, the Predator edition provides a seamless experience with keyboard RGB control and the Predator Sense app. Also, for those interested in penetration testing, the wireless edition comes preloaded with over 400 tools, including 130 plus specifically for wireless pen testing. So first off, before we get it installed, let me hop over to the website so I can show you guys a little bit more information and how to actually get the ISOs so you can install it on your hardware if need be. Before we move forward, I wanted to give a quick shout out to CIQ, the official partner of Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is a Linux distribution that is intended to be a downstream complete binary compatible release using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system source code. The project is led by Gregory Kurtzer, who was the founder of the CentOS project. So check out Rocky Linux at ciq.co. Alright, so I'm at exodia-os.github.io, and of course I always post the links down in the description of the video so you guys can check it out for yourself. I also have the GitHub link down there, which I'll show you guys that next, but this is the main website for Exodia OS, and as you can see, it kind of all the things that I pointed out in the beginning. It's a highly customized Arch-based distro for all cybersecurity fields. It comes with other special editions as well, which I was talking about, that home version. They have that home version, the Predator version for the Cyb3rTh, as well as the wireless version, which comes with all the tools similar to Kali Linux or Parrot OS or something to that effect. And there's multiple ways to get it download. There is a user account called Live ISO, as well as the password, which is Exodia. As you can see, it looks pretty cool. You know, it's totally different from any distro I've seen. And so let's go down a little bit more. This kind of covers everything that I talked about. I didn't want to mess up their name, but it looks like Cyb3rTh1eveZ Team is the people that created it, and it's developed out of Egypt. Now, one thing about this distro, it comes with a tile and window manager by default. It has a couple themes on there for you, cybersecurity tools pre-installed, depending on what version you get. And like I said, those three editions are the home Predator and the wireless, and that breaks down each one of them. As you can see, the wireless is the one that comes with all the tools. The other ones are just for looks or for that Predator, Cyb3rTh laptop. And the home edition, you know, it's built for privacy and all that good stuff. And then it goes through a lot of the features. You can check these out on your own at your own leisure. I just kind of wanted to show it to you guys, but here is the GitHub page as well. Same information, you can download it from here as well. You can also build your own ISO if you want to. So all you have to do is click on the edition that you want to build from source, and then they have instructions on building it from source. Now, one thing about it, you have to build these ISOs on a Arch-based Linux distribution, so just be aware of that. But you can go back to the home page, and actually let's go back to the main website. I'll show you guys in both spots, but in order to download it, all you have to do is click on it right here. This will take you to a Google Drive. Now, the first day I tried to download this, it had too many requests to that server, and so it had issues actually downloading that ISO. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, So I wanted you guys to see that, but it says too many users have viewed or downloaded this file recently. And so it takes a while, you know, if you get it from that Google Drive location. But there are other ways to download it. If we go back over here, there's the FOSS torrent files that you can download. This one, let's see, I can't remember the name of the site, but you can download the torrent file. That'll allow you to download the ISO. And then there's also a SourceForge where they have the torrent files located as well. So if you click right here, you'll see, and this is under the wireless. I wonder why it doesn't have the wireless one there, but if you click on any of them, they should have a torrent file underneath it under the SourceForge downloads. And then there's a mega, which you can only download a certain amount or a certain size until they want you to pay. So that's tough right there for them. You know what I'm saying? And also they have a Telegram group. So I don't use Telegram, but I heard that's a way to get files as well. So check it out that way in order to download it. All those different ways to download it, depending on the way you want to get it. Now, one other thing I want to show you guys was the wiki right fast. So this walks through post installation, well, the install and then the post installation and a couple other quick starts. And then also, if you're new to window managers, there's some key bindings. So just check that out. That'll walk you through the key bindings in order to navigate through these window managers. It's like key bindings that you go through in order to do certain things. And I'll show you a few when I go through and install it, because I'm not that great with window managers. I don't use them typically. But in order to navigate around a little bit, you have to understand some of the key bindings. So definitely check this out if you get stuck. And then also you check out the themes, just showing you guys, you know, all the different themes and stuff like that. You can check that out, you know, at your leisure as well. I won't go through them, you know, show you how to change them up. It's not that difficult. Just change them up in the system settings. Now let's go down and hop over to my virtual machine so we can get this thing installed. All right, cool. So we got the ISO booted up in the virtual machine, and I know you guys can barely see this. This is kind of super small, but at least you can see down here, this is a little bit bigger. It says launch Calamaris. It uses the Calamaris installer. And as you can see, it's pretty tricked out and themed up, you know, nice. And like I said, as a window manager. So let's go down and hit launch Calamaris. It's going to ask you for that password for that live user, which is basically Exodia. So EXODIA, press center, and that'll open up the Calamaris installer. And if this is your first time using the window manager, this may be a little confusing right now, but as you can see, it's highlighted around the welcome screen, but you can highlight around the other screens that are open on the system. But what you want to do is make sure you highlight this one, because what we want to do is close it. You can't just simply hit an X. It's no X or anything, so you may be a little confused, because it's gonna, this welcome screen, the way they have it set up, it's gonna sit on top, and it's not going to allow you to see anything in the Calamaris installer unless you get rid of this. So you basically use the key bindings to close a window, and I'll just tell you what it is in order to close. It's basically the start button or the Windows key, and then shift and then close. You want to make sure that's highlighted though, otherwise it'll close out whatever else is highlighted. So you want to make sure you know, close that out, because that's the only way you can see the full Calamaris installer in order to get it installed. And like I said, you need to understand those key bindings, or those commands that you, if you want to call it that, in order to close out windows, move windows around, all that good stuff, because that welcome screen will just sit there, and if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what to hit, then you ain't gonna be able to go through the installer. But like I said, this is Calamaris. It's super simple, so I'm gonna just breeze through it right fast. So let's hit next, because that's your language. Boom. Your location, I'm on the West Coast, so Pacific Standard Time, that's fine. My keyboard, so default English for me. Now let's set up our hard drive. I'm gonna just do it the simple way, and just so you guys know, I'm using the home edition because I had a tough time getting that wireless edition, and all it's going to do is show you guys all those tools that you can use in Kali Linux or Parrot OS. It's just going to have those pre-installed on the operating system, so it won't look any different from this. It'll use the window manager and all that stuff. It'll just have those extra tools and extra software on here in order for you to do pen testing. So one thing I typically like to do is swap to file. I use ext4. You can use the other file systems out there. They got ButterFS, XFS, JFS, and never heard of Riser. So never used that one, that file system, but we're gonna use ext4. It's just all about personal preference when it comes to it. So let's hit next there, set up our user, and I'm gonna just create Josh, boom. And I always like to name a system, especially if I'm gonna keep it up, and we'll use it Exodia. And then let's type in our super strong password right fast, and let's repeat it, boom. You want to make sure you don't check the login automatically without asking for a password. Use the same password for the administrator account. So that's checked by default, and that's unchecked by default. So let's hit next there, boom. This is a summary of everything we selected. Let's go down and hit install, and this will take a while depending on which one you select. So the wireless is obviously going to take a whole lot longer because it has a whole lot more software to install, but the regular one installs a whole bunch of software as well. As you can see, it's 70,000 packages. So let's wait for this thing to install on the system, and I'll be back when it finishes and we can look at the desktop environment a little bit. All right, so as you can see, the installation is complete. All you have to do is hit the button right here that says restart now, and hit done, and that'll go through and restore the system. All right, so check this out. This is the login screen. All we gotta do is type in our super strong password. As you can see, it looks super cool, the login screen right there. You can show your password. If you have a different desktop environment, then you can select it here by just hitting out here, and it'll list out the other desktop environments you have installed, or desktops that you have installed. But we're gonna roll with the default, so the BSPWM. Press enter, that'll log us into it, and you guys will see when it comes up, there's a pop-up. It just goes through everything about the operating system. So Exodia OS, hello, welcome to it, and then just some information about it, and then some information about the window manager. So BSPWM. Here's like a breakdown of all the key bindings right here. So this will pop up I think every time you open up the system, but you can go through, change up your themes. You can go through them and play around with them if you want to, try to get something to look how you want it to look, you know what I'm saying? But there's a theme applet, you can go in and open that up, make changes to it. I'm gonna leave it on the default right now, but and then the developers, so a shout out to all the developers, and like I said, these guys are out of Egypt, which I thought was super cool. So let's go down and close it so we can use our key bindings. So start shift C, that'll close out that window. And I just kind of want to show you guys the desktop environment, so I'm not going to go through it too deep, but you can hit the little start menu up here, or most window managers, if you right click on the desktop, it'll bring up the menu. Anywhere on the desktop that's not on a window, it'll open up the menu, and you can go through and open up everything you want to open up from here. So terminal, boom. It's a cool looking terminal, as you can see. Super cool, that pops up. They got dot files and all that stuff on here, and like I said, it's highly customized, and that's what they say on their website. It's highly customized Arch based Linux distribution. And so one of the first things you want to do is update your system. I'm not going to run through the updates, but you can use the yay command, SYU, boom, that'll update it. You know what I'm saying? That'll go through and update the system. And let's just go down, exit out the terminal. Well, actually, let's go back to it right fast. Boom, let's go to terminal, and then let's run the uname command. Just see what kernel we got on here. So it's 6.0. So and like I said, it's Arch Linux. Let me see if NeoFetch is on here, which I doubt. Well, it is on here, so cool. Got your NeoFetch. You can pull up everything about the system. So the kernel, Pacman. Developers is using ZSH as the shell, so this is ZSH. The window manager, it's got the themes up here, all that good stuff, and the PC information right there. And let's just run htop and see what it looks like on here. So looks normal. And let's just exit out of the terminal. We don't need to see it no more. And like I said, I couldn't get the wireless ISO downloaded. So this just comes with basic applications, and I'll kind of go through a little bit of them. But if you go down here under applications, this will break down. It's broken out into all the categories. So accessories, all your, main like applications, Vim, NeoVim, calculators, got a calculator on here, file manager, nitrogen. So developer, you got Genie, icon browser, graphics, so GPIC, GwenView, and then internet. So it does come with Firefox and Google Chrome, and that's the full Google Chrome. That's not Chromium, that's straight Google Chrome installed on here. I know a lot of people like Google Chrome and don't use Chromium, so they just went on and put the the Google Chrome actual application from the AUR installed on the system. But Firefox is there, for the whole privacy thing. That's a good way of actually setting it up. But you have access to the AUR, so you can install whatever you want from the AUR. So if you want to put the Brave browser or one of these other privacy focused browsers on here, you have that option. You know what I'm saying? And you can remove Google Chrome if you don't want it on here. But we got the simple mail reader and the simple web browser built into it as well. And then multimedia, so you got pulse audio on here. And another cool thing to see is MPV media player. So you got that there. And then Office, you just got a document viewer, but you can easily get LibreOffice installed or OpenOffice, whichever one you want to use. Here's the theme selector under other, and then you got your normal settings. So all your different settings, you got the display settings, power settings, predator sense, which I thought about it. I mean, I looked at it after the fact because I had both ISOs, in my list of ISOs to select, and I believe I selected the Predator edition, which includes that Predator Sense instead of just a normal home edition. It's all in a virtual machine, so it really doesn't matter. It's going to install both of those the exact same way. So, and then under system, you can go into system, you got all your system tools. So time shift for backups, G-ported, Exodia help, and that's one thing I wanted to bring up just so you guys can see it. But that'll bring back up that main page that popped up in the beginning in case you need to look at it, look at your key bindings or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So super cool to actually have. And let's go back under here under system, just cover a couple more things. But this uses analyzer, Ranger, which I thought was super cool to see. So all you Vim users out there, you want to navigate your file structure, you can use Ranger, which is super cool. It's a super cool way of doing it. But one thing that a lot of people are probably interested to see is PowerShell is here as well. So you can use PowerShell. That's super dope. Now, just to kind of go through, I don't know if you guys seen Stancer is up in here, but Stancer was somewhere. I think it's under accessories. Yeah, Stancer. That's a super cool application that allows you to look at the system. You can get information about your system as it's running. It's kind of like a system monitor, kind of like on Windows. You can look at your services and all that stuff under there. You can turn things off, turn things on, processes. You can look at all that. But bam, this is, it's everything in one spot. And just show you guys some other or another way to actually get to it. You can just click up here. Stancer is up here on the right hand side, and it's constantly putting up information about your system up here. So I thought that was super dope to actually see. So let's go down and close that out. But you got your volume controls, and then your network settings. You just click on it, you see it pops up right there. I'm gonna go down and close it. But yeah, shows you your connection volume. You can play your audio. You can see your audio that's playing up here. And let me show you guys one other thing. But if we go down here under BSPW, you can edit the configuration for it. So that allows you to go through and modify that as you see fit. I'm not gonna mess with it. You guys can read the documentation and figure out how to edit that if you need to. And then also you can restore, exit. Now that wraps up our exploration of Exodia OS. And like I said in the beginning, whether you're a cybersecurity professional looking for a powerful tool set, or just a Linux enthusiast eager to try something new, Exodia offers an enticing package. With this unique blend of customization, pre-installed tools, and user-friendly experience, it's definitely worth giving it a spin. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content similar to this. And thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and of course, keep it techie.